All right, hey friends, welcome back to the vlog. This is probably the second of the two vlogs of our trip to Turkey. We are still here on the team retreat. It is a Sunday, so Sunday is a non-work day in theory, although various people seem to be working anyway. And we are starting the day off at this cute little coffee shop called Ed's Coffee, which is a 10-minute walk from the house. Getting some food, getting some teas and coffees. It's going to be good vibes to start off the day, and we'll see where the day takes us. Earlier today, I decided to start reading a new book called The Big Leap. It is good. Where's my phone? I don't know where my phone is. Who cares? A friend recently recommended I read this book, The Big Leap. I can't remember who recommended it, but it's pretty good so far. It's a book written by this guy who seems to have been an executive coach for like massive CEOs like Michael Dell, the founder and I suspect CEO of Dell, and the guy who was like the CEO of eBay and a few other sort of big shot people. And his whole shtick is there is one problem that is sabotaging your success. And not just success in a financial sense, but like the amount of love and joy and money and impact and abundance that there generally is in your life. And he refers to this as the upper limit. Like you reach an upper limit of success more holistically defined rather than just financially defined. So you reach an upper limit of success, and then it's almost like there's this glass ceiling where you can't like break through it. And his shtick seems to be that the reason for that is because there is a certain amount of positive emotions that you are comfortable with. And then when life starts getting too good, or you start having too much success in a particular area, you then sabotage yourself by then the mind starting to worry about things, or like in the context of health, you're doing really, really well for a few weeks or a few months, and then you sort of, quote, throw it all away by going on a massive binge, and then sort of your healthy eating goes out the window, or you find yourself kind of just feeling too good about life, and so you start finding things to worry about. And the example he gives was like, life's going pretty great, his daughter's away at a summer camp, whatever, and he finds himself just really worrying about his daughter and like, is she going to feel lonely and stuff? And then he rings up the summer camp and they're like, no, she's chill, but also like 8 different parents have rung up the summer camp asking if their kid is okay. And he's like, why do you think that is? And the summer camp lady is like, oh, well, parents are surprised by how much they miss their daughter, and therefore they think that something must be wrong. She must be hurting in some way. We've got a lighter. Do we need a lighter? And I found myself relating to this a fair bit because basically last night I found myself feeling a bit like uncertain and a bit stressed. I don't like to use the word stressed, but like a little bit stressed, shall we say, about the business, because we're launching this new product, Productivity Lab. We don't know how it's going to go. And then the YouTube channel isn't getting as many views this month as it did last month and stuff. And I started thinking, what's the point of all of this? Is it all going to come crumbling down? The usual fears. As I was starting to read it this morning, I kind of wondered, maybe I'm doing that. Like life is pretty freaking sick right now. I'm here in Turkey with my whole team. We've got a barbecue going. The sun is shining. The vibes are great. And last night, after having a whole day of like activities and stuff, I found a reason to worry. I found a thing that I could latch onto, a sense of uncertainty or a sense of anxiety about this freaking new product that we're launching. And like when viewed from the outside, with a bit of perspective, it's like, it's all going to be totally fine. The product's going to be good. Even if it's not, we'll fix it. It's like, who cares? But it was so interesting how my mind started to go to the negative scenarios. And when I read the stuff in the book this morning, I was like, maybe I also have this upper limit of feel-goodness, even though I'm the feel-good productivity guy.
I can relate to that as well. In January and February, it was actually very stressful work-wise, job helping Ali film. We introduced these filming days and it just took up a lot of my time. And then I've worked to free up my time over the past month or two. And I suddenly have a little bit more time to do stuff, and then I have that sense of like, when things get busier, I actually feel a bit more comfortable because I'm like, the sense of like weak to weakness is almost the default, and then when there's more time and headspace, it's almost a bit uncomfortable. You're like, wait, what do I do with this? How do I organize my time? How do I prioritize things? Like, I almost want something to worry about. Yeah, can relate to the feeling after Ali's very brief description of the book, which I have not read.
Nice. Yeah. Tintin is very adept at talking to a camera with zero prep, so that's good. Check out his YouTube channel, link down below. Oh, gang, okay. I've got a fun little segment from on this day on my journal. So on Saturday, the 14th of April, 2018, which was 6 years ago, something. Charlotte came over, this is my friend Charlotte Johnson, came over in the morning to run through examinations, which was semi-productive because we were preparing for our med school exams. edited the April favorites video and decided last night to start an email newsletter. Woo! I drafted the first post of it, which I think I'll schedule for tomorrow morning. Here goes nothing, lol, night night, XX. On this day, 6 years ago, I decided to start an email newsletter. It's been running ever since. I've written about an issue every week-ish for the last 6 years. It's called Sunday Snippets. You can subscribe down below if you want. And actually that reminds me I need to write today's issue because today is also, coincidentally, a Sunday. So it was also Sunday 6 years ago. No, it was a Saturday 6 years ago, and I scheduled it for the following morning. So that was very productive of me. Alright, so there's a game of traitors happening as we speak. We've been playing for the last few days.
It's called The Traitors.
Most of us are dead or banished, but there's 6 people left in the game, and we think there are 2 traitors left in the game, so...
I'm going to go with Jakob.
As a new thing on.
Jakob, if you could put one finger up, that would be very helpful. Melina, who did Jakob vote for? Tintin?
Okay.
I'm going to say your... Alison?
I'm gonna trust in Zach and Jakob here.
Seth?
Jakob.
Yeah, I was good. Jakob.
If you could reveal...
So, yeah, I was a faithful.
Just want to point out that this is the third time that I vote for a traitor.
You know,
So we're down to 6.
I said Angus.
Alright team, we're down to 6.
It didn't work, but yeah. Okay.
Amazing. Okay, we've got 6 people left. Another murder will happen tonight. Team!
You did.
Jesus. It's like children. One more murder tonight. And then we will banish someone tomorrow. I think that will bring us to 4, if I could do maths.
Okay, so the game of traitors has had another casualty. Jakob has been banished, and he was indeed a traitor. So Jakob, Adi, and Inez have been the 3 traitors so far.
No, I'm a traitor.
I am a traitor.
And now, because it is a Sunday, and as I mentioned earlier, it is the 6th anniversary of Sunday Snippets, the weekly email newsletter, it's time for me to, at 9:56 p.m, to write the issue of Sunday Snippets. I always leave it to the last minute. Like, this is one of those things where it shouldn't be that hard to frickin' write an email newsletter in the week at some point, so I can just schedule it for the Sunday. But no, I have to wait until frickin' 10 p.m. on a Sunday night before I write this bloody thing. Actually, most of my issues I think I've written after 10 p.m. on the Sunday night. After the first one, I wrote on the Saturday and managed to schedule it in advance. Man, annoyingly hard to be consistent with this sort of stuff. It's Monday, it's 7:20. The sun is just about to set. Look at that. That looks very nice. Not me, but that. Okay, well, it doesn't quite do it justice on this camera. Well, it sort of does. And we are about to head out to dinner at a restaurant nearby. And today's been a very solid day. I've spent most of the day cranking away at the structure for our upcoming course, the Life Productivity System, which is going to be a live cohort that I run as part of Productivity Lab, which is very exciting. So just sort of doing a lot of stuff on a Miro and FigJam board, trying to really simplify the structure of the course to its essentials and sort of then plan out what the 4 weeks of the live course are going to look like, all that kind of stuff. More details down below if you want to check it out, although this might come out way after the course is finished. I also had a really good Zoom call with Eric Partaker, who's my CEO coach. We did a bit of a quarterly review where we talked about kind of some wins for the quarter and some challenges and lessons learned. And I have some action points for things that I want to take forward this next quarter. And one of those things is to basically figure out a system for my health and put it on autopilot with Iram, my executive assistant. This is a little bit like champagne problems. Basically, I kind of want to just outsource all of my thinking about and executing on my health stuff, because it is something that I know is very important, but it's something that I don't normally make the time to take particularly seriously or rather sincerely myself. So in the last 3 months, I found the power of having a personal trainer. It was just like unreasonably effective. So I was working with this guy, Junaid, and Fitness Firsts in Albans, who was great. He was my personal trainer. And so we do sessions 4 times a week in the mornings. And I got like into the best shape of my life. But then since moving to London and sort of being in between gyms, and it's like, I wasn't sure how long I was gonna be in London for and stuff, I haven't just re-signed up to another personal trainer, and that's just a known goal. It's a bit of a miss. You know, Eric was saying that he's coached a bunch of CEOs who've also had issues with their health, whether they're like, oh, I'm not taking my health seriously. Bro, just hire a personal trainer. When you're a CEO and you've got enough money, there's just no reason not to invest the money to outsource that aspect of your life. And then also when it comes to nutrition, I'm gonna work with my fitness coach, Dan Go, link down below. He's got a sick YouTube channel to figure out macros and stuff. And then Aram will be able to organize a sort of meal delivery service that gets me the right meals with the right macros. This sort of stuff, as I say this out loud, I'm probably coming across as very out of touch. But this is one of the key learnings that I've I guess learned from hanging out with entrepreneurs and people who are very, very successful financially and otherwise, in that they recognize that money is a tool and a resource, and money can be deployed to kind of improve areas of your life without you having to put in the brain work to improve those areas of your life. Like if you want to get better at tennis and you have money, you just hire a tennis coach rather than trying to faff around YouTube and trying to figure it out yourself. There are some people who really enjoy, actively making their own workout plans and taking care of their health in that way. I'm not one of those people. The less I have to think about it, the better. And so, yeah, I just need to kind of recognize that, I could just use the resources that I have to take this aspect of my life very, very seriously. Another major level up for the last year is investing the money in a relationships therapist / relationship coach, which I've been doing for the last 12 months plus. And we meet with our guy, Thomas, every few weeks. And it's great, even when nothing is particularly going wrong in the relationship, which is most of the time, I might add. It's still really useful having that touch point every 2, 3, 4 weeks to just sit down for 90 minutes with a couples therapist and just stuff just comes up and it's just really, really helpful. This was a tip I got from Bill Perkins, the author of Die with Zero. I asked him, what advice he'd give to me. I hung out with him in Austin last year and he said 2 things. Number 1, get a relationship therapist as soon as you enter a relationship and meet with them regularly. And then the second piece of advice, which I still haven't quite taken forward, is to celebrate whenever possible. So throw parties for things. You get a win in the business, celebrate it, throw a party. He was like, this guy's in his 50s. He's big on kind of maximizing life fulfillment. His whole thing was that we as entrepreneurs tend to celebrate the wins very seldom. And that is something to actively fight against. And as I say this, I realize I could just ask Erin, my assistant, to be like, hey, I struggle to celebrate wins. Can you just suggest some celebrations that we could do as a team or with friends and stuff? And she might be like, my 30th birthday is coming up. And Erin was the one who was saying, Ali, your 30th birthday is coming up. We should do a party. And initially I was like, kind of CBA to do a party. And she was like, no, we should do a party. And then I remembered what Bill Perkins said. And I was like, okay, fine, we should do a party.
Happy birthday to you.
So yeah, that's some of the stuff that came out of the session with Eric Partaker. And I hope this doesn't make me sound like an entitled, privileged, absolute frickin' twat. Maybe it does. But hey, guys, this vlog is all about keeping it real with you, showing the true behind the scenes and sharing lessons as I learn them. However out of touch they might appear at first glance. But hopefully there's something from that might be even vaguely useful to someone.
Melina, please can you reveal whether you were a traitor or a faithful?
I can now reveal that I have always been a faithful.
What?
Are you being serious?
I'm waiting for her to go like some.
I'm being 100% serious.
Can you confirm? I can confirm.
Wait, we're all
Melina is
so
not
shocked. I feel like,
No.
Your words can't even.
This is the
Words
first
aren't
time
even
I'm
being
being shocked.
yeah.
Yo, gang. So it is the final day of the Turkey team retreat. The time is 10:29 and I am gonna get in some steps, walk to the local coffee shop where Tintin, Saf, Melina and a couple of others are already co-working from. It is a work day. Woke up around 8 a.m. and one thing I've been doing recently, this is a big part of my philosophy around life productivity, is that just thinking in terms of experiments. So one experiment that I've been running in my life is something that I actually used to do in med school when preparing for exams, which is basically as soon as I get up, not even brushing my teeth, but just making a coffee and getting straight to work. Not having a shower, not doing a morning routine, not brushing my teeth, none of that stuff. I know, first hour of the day, coffee doesn't work because of adenosine receptors and all that, but it's an experiment, we're trying it out. And whenever I do this, where just without thinking, I just go straight to work, I always feel really focused and I feel like I get a lot of work done. So this morning from 8 till 9:15, I did an hour and 15 minutes of focused work on the productivity course. looking at our mirror boards, and we've got all the components of the system, and it's just really about simplifying and distilling them into a handful of key pillars. And there's like a bunch of different ways of doing this, and I've sort of been working on it myself and then sort of running it past various team members to sort of practice the system and see what resonates and see what feels more actionable, seems more clear. Anyway, managed to do an hour and 15 minutes on that, and the way that I timed it was my usual method of having a YouTube video that was like 3 hours long in the background, playing background music. This morning was bag end music from The Shire, from The Lord of the Rings, and then I just play that, and then while I'm focusing, I have the music on in the background, and then when I stop focusing, or when I get distracted, or when I decide to stop, I just pause the video. And it means it just acts as a timer, a focus timer for how much time I've actually spent focusing. But one of the things I've realized around focus is actually just tracking the number is unreasonably effective. You know, there's the whole thing in business that what gets measured gets managed, what gets measured gets improved. And being able to just see on a spreadsheet or in an app or on a Google Doc, I've experimented with various methods over the years, how many minutes or how many hours or how many focus blocks of time I actually did is a number that just stares at me in the face. And it means I can't lie to myself. I can't convince myself that, oh, I was super productive today when I really wasn't. Or if I'm feeling I wasn't very productive today, I can just look at the thing and be like, oh, well, I did like 3.5 hours of focus. And that's pretty solid, because really 3 to 5 is the maximum number. A lot of people swear by 4. And so as long as I've done 3 to 5 focus blocks, that is a win. That is like upper limit of what is reasonable. And then I can feel like I deserve an evening on the PlayStation. And usually with this experiment, it's like the first 1 or 2 hours, I'll do pure focus work while I'm still smelly and haven't had a shower and haven't brushed my teeth. And then once I'm done with that, I'll take a break. And in that break, I will then kind of brush my teeth, have a shower, change, put on my sun cream and my moisturizer, the usual shebang. And what I'm doing this morning is now going, sort of changing location a bit. Yeah, I find that changing location is often really nice for just making the thing feel more like an adventure, making it feel more fun, and also helps boost creativity in various ways. I'm very excited about my health goals that I sort of sorted out with Urim last night. So now I'm like, yeah, it's quite nice having a goal, a plan, and a system in place for any area of life, really. I find that when I have a clear goal and a clear plan and a clear system, it's infinitely more likely that I'm actually going to do the thing. And given that the thing is something I want to do anyway, it's like, cool. I know that if I'm ever not doing a thing that I think I want to do, or feeling like an area of my life is not as aligned as I would like it to be, just really thinking GPS, goal, plan, system, I find to be incredibly helpful in figuring out, like where is the problem here, and crucially, what can I do about it? Testing. Hello. Oh, nice.
My acres of land I have achieved. It may be hard for you to stop and believe, but for you, I leave it all. Strangers waiting at another boulevard in the shadows, searching in the night. I know that you'll never feel sorry. The way you talk to her, when we were together, loved you with your words, but that didn't matter. It took you 2 weeks to go off and date. Guess you didn't cheat. You're still a traitor. You're still a traitor. And darling, I will be loving you till we're 23.
70.
And maybe my heart would still fall as hard at 23. For me, I fall in love with you every single day, and I just wanna tell you I am. So honey, now take me into your loving arms, kiss me under the light of 1,000 stars, place your head on my beating heart, thinking out loud.
26 this year. As this was coming out, I was just feeling this immense sense of gratitude to have all of you guys over here. And I feel so privileged to have you all in my life. I talk about you all the time to all of my friends outside of work, and I'm just so happy to be 26 years old and to be surrounded by such wonderful people that I love so dearly. Thank you guys.
That was really special, and I agree with everything he says. You guys, you are the best team ever. I genuinely feel these are going to be the best years of our lives. You all mean the world, and your support and encouragement. Thank you so much for everything that you do and everything that you stand for. Love you all.
Of the 4, I can now confirm that Saf has been murdered. I knew. We now have 3 people left. Tintin, Aram, and Alison.
We're just both fighting for Tintin's vote. We both trust him.
We trust him.
Yeah, so it's Tintin is a swaying vote, basically.
So you say you're voting for each other?
I'm so shocked.
I'm voting for her.
Yeah, I'm voting for him.
Tintin, you are the star, man. You're the star. Let's go. Just give. Did you guys have a pitch?
No, just vote.
Just go for it. No, honestly, it's fine.
I'm swinging towards Aram, but I'm feeling the pressure of getting it wrong. And it being Alison.
So?
I really don't know. I'm gonna go with Aram.
I'm voting for you.
Obviously.
Aram is banished, having 2 votes. Aram, if you could now confirm and bring the game to an end, are you a faithful or are you a traitor?
I can confirm that for this whole time, for this. I have, and I am, and I have been faithful.
I was the traitor!
We had this conversation about this. Oh,
I know, but I was saying loads of different things.
Alrighty, everyone. So we now come to the end of the thing, and in classic style, we're going to do a little bit of a reflection exercise. Take note of who is the person to your left. Now, everyone, close your eyes, and you're gonna. Jakob, you can close your eyes as well.
I'm waiting for you to finish the sentence.
And you're gonna think of 3 things. You're gonna share a reflection about the week or about the year or whatever you like, any sort of reflection. Secondly, a learning from the week/year, probably secondly, a learning from the week. And thirdly, you're gonna give a heartfelt and sincere compliment to the person to your immediate left. So, like I was casually eavesdropping on Inez and Alison's conversation about what it's like kind of managing people and stuff. I was like, oh shit, like I've never really thought of management in that way, but like, yeah, I guess that makes perfect sense. Sort of being in the background on my laptop and sort of just keeping an ear out for conversations that were not related to the traitor stuff was just quite a useful learning experience to see how people think about their roles, about their jobs, and interacting with the rest of the team. And one thing I really like is how like sincerely everyone is trying to be, and mostly succeeding at being CEOs of their own platforms, and really kind of leveling up in entrepreneurial thinking and all that jazz. So I think that's been really nice to see. And then finally, Amber, you are an absolutely phenomenal singer. I've never heard you sing in real life, and it's incredible. And as soon as you opened your mouth, I was like, whoa, shit! Like, it was right. There is no auto-tune on those YouTube videos. We've just wrapped up the final official night of the trip. Went around the circles, everyone shared a reflection, a learning, and a sincere compliment to the person next to them, which was very wholesome. Some of the nice things brought a tear to everyone's eye, which is very sweet. It is now, like, what is it? It's midnight. We are saying our goodbyes. So thank you for joining along on this this vlog, which is probably quite long, but that's quite all right. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and we'll hopefully see you next time. Bye-bye.